Hi everybody, we're back.
Oh, I'm waving. You just can't see.
Hi, we're back. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Hi, I'm Imani. I'm your wonderful storyteller for this game. Welcome to Skies of Axia, our Emberwind campaign. Let me go around the table and introduce our cast since it's been a minute. Starting with Bloodcree.
Hi. Um, I'm Bloodcree, and I play Sorcha Keegan. She's the ardent, and she really likes books and history, and is somewhat obnoxious, just like me.
I love it. It's fun. She's wonderful.
So I know how to play obnoxious characters.
Arnica, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Arnica. I'm playing Sarah Lykencrutch, the druid. And it's been a while. I missed y'all.
It has been a while. I thought we were gonna play the other day, but then it turned out I was wrong, and I was confused. It's okay though. Zwith.
Hello.
Oh, go for it.
Sorry, I'm Zweth. I play Kira Tully. She is a rogue who loves to tinker with all kinds of things and make stuff.
Yes. And we are down one cast member today, unfortunately, due to life being life and the true demon of tabletop RPGs, which is scheduling. Reminder for everyone in chat, viewers, you can affect the game. You can affect the game by giving bits, subs, or donations. For every 100 biddies, you can gift a cast member or dice reroll. For every subscription, you gift an auto crit to a player. If you donate money to either Streamlabs or Coffee, you can make stuff happen by giving me, storyteller, suggestions. Another thing to remind you, all sub points for the month of November are being met with $1 donation for Extra Life from Valdrianth. And also, if you stick around to the end of the stream, we're having a raffle for official Emberwind content, which includes a copy of the Hero's Manual, Skies of Axia, Songweaver's Tapestry, and Wailing Song, which is basically all the content that's currently out for Emberwind. And finally, any purchases made on emberwind.com using the code Valdrianth get you a 10% discount. I think that's everything. I think I've covered everything. If not, Val will tell me. I'll be sad. I thought I got everything. There we go. Anyway, so let's start with my favorite part of this game, and that involves the recap of who wants to do it. Who remembers?
I don't mind doing it.
Oh, go ahead.
Unless anyone else wants to.
Go ahead.
So we sort of were set in the scene of a party that's sort of going out through the entire district of Geldspar, which is the lower district. And they were celebrating the fact that they had a new crystal, which is something that powers their district. Through various happenstances and crossing of paths, our four of our party met together. Saren and Kira sort of going about their various business that they carry out in the district. Saren treating and healing people, and most notably tending to Kira's neighbor who is due a baby. And Sorcha and Verity were down sort of investigating and researching. And sort of throughout all of this, we discovered that more crystal has been sort of passing in the black market of Geldspar, and that this crystal seemed to be slightly odd from what we would expect. It had a purplish hue that I think Saren was able to know that was tainted in some way. And some of the crystal is sometimes used like as a recreational drug. And we sort of discovered that this whatever sort of something that was in it was probably not going to be very good for people. Is what I remember.
Yes, go for it.
And then we all got together, and also Sorcha mentioned that Kendrick Maddox wants to talk to the representative from the Geldspar, and she also we also decided to do some research on the crystal to and so we went back to the archives, and Sorcha looked up a bunch of people and got mildly annoyed that there were books missing and had to go find those out. I forget exactly what they were, like the exact wording of what she was researching though.
Let me go look at let me just backtrack through my notes. Jonathan is your neighbor. Jojo is their son. I write that down. Episode 2 just says archives. No, I just wrote down that you were going to the archives. Interesting. I'll take better notes this time around.
I'll have to look at the old episode, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. We can always just back watch our episodes and see what's going on. Okay, so who wants to start off first from where we are? Because I do believe that you had split the party in a tiny manner.
Now I think I remember what they were researching. It was on crystals, I believe. The exact nature and function. The origins, yes.
Yeah.
And she was cross-referencing the families in order to get the books that were missing from the history that was being missed. Words and things.
Words mean things. Okay, so who wants to go first? Because I believe that Verity and Sorka, you both were in the library, right?
Yeah.
And then Kira, where were you?
I'd just run back to my shop to basically check through my logs of who might have brought in crystals. So there was somebody, I can't remember his name, but there was somebody I was going to check up with who often, might know where the crystals were coming from. And I know that I had promised Saren that I would meet them the next morning as well.
Yes, and Saren, you were the last person to go because you were going to.
I didn't go nowhere.
You didn't go anywhere. You were still in your house. Okay. So. Oh man, I'm trying to remember what I see. This happens for a while. You forget what you were doing. I should have backwatched our episode. It's okay. And you were gonna go find out because you'd seen those two guys and the one guy who had been not overdosed but had been doing too much of bad things, bad drugs, having a bad trip. You were gonna go see if there was anyone else, I believe, that you could find on having a bad time from partying a little too hard.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you leave your house, your apartment, you go downstairs, go out the front door, obviously. Not everyone's still excited. It's still pretty early, not early in the day, but it's pretty it's not late in the day yet. So everyone's still out about on the street, everyone's still partying, everyone's still this party is nowhere near over. If you know anything about block parties in New York, it's a block party that's just never ending. And so where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? I'm trying to determine. I'm mentally trying to figure out where's a good place on this map. So, you're kind of I'm gonna say you're kind of wandering the streets, not wandering, but going through your regular haunts and seeing if you see anyone that stands out, but is not in the manner that you're used to seeing. And so far you don't see anyone. But see something. But me think about this. I'm sorry. I should have. I have a plan. I have a plan, but it's just I need to figure out how to get everyone to where I need them to be or want them to be. Um, when I guess I want to say a young, not young child, a like a preteen middle schooler, I guess would be a good description of how old they are. Like before 13, but over the age of 10 child.
Okay.
Comes like careening out of an apartment building. Like not an apartment building, a walk up. It's an apartment building, but it's a walk up.
Okay.
And they like do the like look left, look right, look left, look right, like they're looking for something. And then they see you and go like excitement but confusion. Like, oh, that was convenient. But this is weird. Why are you here?
Okay.
And they kind of like stand there, and then they sort of like do like the, like when you're trying to like pretend that you're like act casual, like nothing. They do that. They pull themselves together like the act casual. Had you not just seen them come careening out of this building, you would assume that they were chill. And they like sort of like slowly walk up to you and be like, "Hi, Miss Aaron."
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Okay. What'd your friends do? That's what I thought. Come on. Where are we going?
And they do the like, oh, okay, I guess, cool. And they like lead you back towards the building that they just came out of, and like up the stairs and like into like it's not like it's like it's a well maintained building. It's just old.
Okay.
And you could hear like downstairs on the first floor, someone like you could hear the things through the walls. The walls are cheap thin walls. I mean, he leads you upstairs to the top floor, and like kind of like pushes the door open, and everyone's like, "Why are you back? We didn't like." You hear someone in the back like through the door going, "Why are you back? Did you like? We asked you to go do something, and it's been 5 minutes. Like, what the heck?" And the kid goes, "No, she was right there. Like, I didn't have to go far. It was suspiciously convenient." And they like go, they like pull the rest of the door open, so like you can see, and like there's a older version of the kid. So if the kid is like 12, we'll say, this person's at least like 17. And they look frazzled. He looks like he hasn't slept in days. Like it's like hair sticking up always sort of way, dark smudges under your eye, like it's not a good time. And they go, oh, and then like when they see you behind the kid, they go, oh, hi, Miss Saren, and you recognize him as one of the kids who like doesn't necessarily run sort of. So you know, like when kids don't have proper adult supervision and they just kind of like run wild through the streets, but they also still respect their elders.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like he's one of those kids. Like doesn't necessarily get up to anything necessarily bad, but also not necessarily the most. It's only because I haven't been caught.
Yeah.
And so he like steps out of the way and like lets you in. And it's just like it's not bad. It's just not good. It's been like this.
Okay. So it's not bad, but it's not good. What have you done now?
And he will tell you that actually I'm gonna tell you that his name is Reese. We're gonna name him Reese. That I have Reese's cups next to me. He's gonna be like, we just wanted to celebrate the new crystal, and we ran into um ran into I hate names. I hate generating names. They're so hard. Um Morgan. You ran into Morgan. And you know Morgan as someone who runs with the what are they called? What are they called?
What a good question. What are they called?
Not the Rift Keepers. Hounds. Are they hounds? Is that what it is?
Like runs with the chasers, runs
Chasers.
with.
Thank you.
Okay.
Runs with the Chasers. You know Morgan as a kid who runs with the Chasers. Um, and but like recent joining of the Chasers, not old, been there for a while. I am hardened by my experience Chaser. I'm the new kid on the not the newest kid on the block, but I'm the new kid in the gang.
Mhm.
And Reese will explain that Morgan gave them something that was supposed to help them have a good time. Only, and they'll like gesture to like the back room, which is like the other like basically this is a two room build. This is a 2 room thing. It's like a living room area, and then there's a bedroom in the back. And they'll be like, our sister, Lois, she hasn't. It's been like 3 days, and she doesn't seem to be coming down. Just keeps like sweating and like puking, and getting really like and he like snaps his fingers like trying to think of the word like um hyper, elated, excited, like it like fresh high. It's a cycle. It's a and he's like trying to figure out the way to describe what's occurring and like from the voice in the sky. It's basically like she's high, then she's sick, then she's high again. Like it's like a never it's a not ending cycle. Or like like when you get high and then you like have the hangover and your hangover and that's it's over. She's getting the high, then the hangover, then high again, but it shouldn't go like that. It shouldn't be like only took it once. It shouldn't be.
All right. I shove past Reese with my face, letting him know that I am deeply unimpressed, and let myself into the back room to find Lois. I turn around and yell at all of the boys over my shoulder that they know that Morgan doesn't know his ass from his elbow, and they're not supposed to take anything from him that they don't know is food. If he was smart, he wouldn't be with the chasers.
This is true. All true, actual facts. And so when you see Lois, like her like hair is like matted and like kind of sweaty. She's sort of like laying and like you can smell like she's been sick, but like not it's not currently in the room. Like someone's obviously cleaned up after her. And she's just kind of like laying there like kind of dazed and she like kind of like tries to focus. Like you can see her like trying to track your movement as you come into the room because you made noise. But like she can't focus long enough to do that. And so like gives up halfway through the action, through the motion.
All right. I cross the room to where Lois is slumped across the furniture and put my fingers to her throat to check her pulse first.
It's a little sluggish. Like it's you're not sluggish, it's erratic. Like it's like every couple like hits for as long as you have your finger to her throat.
Okay. How much did she take?
Like one tap? One I'm gonna say tap. We're gonna go with tap. We're gonna say one tap. We only had 3. And she took the first one, and then Reese looks like I was gonna take the second one, but we wanted to see what it did first, and since she's oldest, and make sure it was safe. Because we're not that stupid. And like he does the thing where we're not
that stupid.
like he's doing it thing like I know you're gonna be mad. Like I know like I reckon he's trying to like play down that. Like how can I play down what I'm saying so you like it's the least impactful and negative reaction from
you? I don't have words for how unimpressed with you chuckle fucks I am. Reese, get your sister some clean clothes and meet me at my place, I guess. I can't work here. I pick up Lois, wrap her in a blanket, and carry her out of the building with the youngest brother following me.
Yes. And who I name the youngest brother Noel.
There we go, Noel.
Because I need to make sure that they make. I can't forget their
name. Okay, so I
you get back to your building. I'm assuming you keep her in the shop downstairs. You don't take her upstairs.
No, I take her directly to the shop downstairs.
And so she's like, kind of like every once in a while, she like sort of like not struggles, but like tries to like if you're like carrying her like bridal style in your arm, she tries to like sit up to like try to like help like take some of her weight off of you, but like she can't seem to like maintain the like she can't maintain the energy right now to like be helpful. But she's trying. And she's sort of mumbling to herself, and like you can make up every couple of words, and mostly it sounds like death threats towards this other kid, towards I forgot his name already. Morgan, thank you. Like it sounds it sounds like she's like when she finds him and when she's like it's the equivalent of once I get my breath back, I'm gonna fuck you up.
There we go. I like hearing that because that means that she's not starting to lose consciousness.
Yeah.
So I clear off my back counter and I tell Noelle to hop up, and then I set Lois so that she's leaned against her brother just in case she pitches forward when I have my back turned.
Okay.
And then I would like I didn't have a chance to really examine the fake crystal I have.
Yeah.
But I know that this does not look like a regular, this isn't a party overdose. They weren't doing the normal things because I've never seen anyone go up, down before.
Yeah.
And Reese might be a bit of a fuckwit, but he's a good enough boy that I know he's not going to lie to me about his sister's symptoms.
Yeah.
All right. So, oh my gosh. I start rummaging around in my cupboards looking for basic things. Willow bark, things that would fight a fever if she spikes one, things that will settle her stomach so that she doesn't throw up again, things that will make her throw up in case I need her to throw up again.
Okay.
And I start mixing both an emetic and an antiemetic. So I start mixing something to make her vomit and then to immediately make her stop because I'm probably going to make her throw up.
Yeah.
How long have you been sick, Willis? Can you answer me?
So like mumble something that sounds like 2 days, but like not really. And Noelle will pipe up and be like, it's been like since before yesterday. Like he'll be like, we took it not yesterday, but the day before at night. Because Morgan was just like, it takes a while to kick in. So we thought we'd take it at night, take a nap, wake up, and in the morning it'd be better, but in the morning it wasn't good.
All right. I set the emetic to the side for now because it doesn't sound like there's anything to bring out of her, but it does sound like she might be dehydrated. I try to get some juice in her.
She'll like sort of like sippy cup the juice. But like, do you know like when you're like when like you've forgotten how to swallow and you chipmunk?
Yeah.
She sort of does that, and then like Noelle like sort of pokes her in the cheek, and then she like sort of remembers like, oh yeah, I swallow things that are in my mouth before I like put more in my mouth, and like she swallows. And Noelle's gonna be like, this is. He's like sort of like trying to figure out how to say. She doesn't normally do this. Like this is the first time. This is like it was just we were celebrating and it was a party and we just thought it'd be like a good one-off thing and like we just like and like he does the like you know like the thing like when you have a friend who's done drugs and then you said I'm never gonna do drugs, I'm never gonna drink again. He's doing that. Like I'm never gonna do this again. This was a terrible idea. This was not for me. And like he seems genuinely worried.
Okay. Can I try my healing factor?
Sure.
All right. So I'm concerned enough that it's been a couple days that I would like to.
Realistically, it's only been about 24, but like it's been 24 hours over a 2-day period. So like if they took it at 8:00 on Monday night, it's been 24 hours from that, and now it's like Wednesday afternoon. Does that make sense?
It kind of makes sense. I wouldn't leave anyone high that long. That's too much of a good time.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a problem. But like it hasn't. Like the way he's describing time is it's just like the sun went down and the sun came back up, and then like he has no concept of like time, like the way normal people have concepts of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you trying to use? For healing factor, you said.
Oh, actually, is healing factor only on me? Shoot, let me check.
You take damage. It can't be fallen. No, it's just a self move.
Okay. But restore. Restore is not a self move, and it looks like it heals. So I'd like to try and cast restore and see if that helps her out any.
Okay. I'm not gonna make you roll for that because you're not in combat and she's not technically another hero, but it's fine. And like she sort of like when you do that, she sort of like immediately like jerks forward and like leans over and like shoots, like empties the content of her stomach in a manner that is not fun. And you'll note if you like stay like outside of the gross smelling thing, it sort of has there's sort of a glowing purplish bit of some like dust in the puke, but then there's also like a peanut size, not peanut size, like a, what is this? Oh, these are peanuts. Like half peanut size pill, like that, like looks sort of dissolve in her, like in that puke. Like once she finishes, like if you like not sort through it, but like you know, like okay, I'm gonna describe this, and then I'm never gonna describe puke ever again. I apologize to everyone at home. But you like you know when you puke and you puke, you go it goes in the opposite order of what you've eaten. She where the first thing that she ate is now the last thing that comes up, and the last thing that comes up is like this like purpley pill looking thing that's about the size of a peanut that looks like a dissolved pill. Like like pills dissolve in your mouth like that, but this one hasn't dissolved. Like it's still a solid piece of pill that is still there. Um, but yeah, that's what she pukes up, and then she sort of looks like she looks real dazed, like real like oh god, that was literally everything I've eaten, including the juice that you gave her in the last like 48 hours, and then some.
You feel better now, Smarty?
No,
No. You gonna take drugs from stupid ass Morgan again, Smarty?
no, nope, nope. Gonna murder him.
No.
Gonna string him up by his toes and pull his fingernails out when I get a hold of him.
That's my girl. Drink some more juice, and
She
then
does.
drink this bottle here, and I hand her the antiemetic
Uh-huh.
so she doesn't throw up again.
She like takes it and like makes the gross face.
Oh, it's gross. I left out the sugar because someone's not supposed to be taking drugs from Morgan, are they, Lois? Drugs are for adults, aren't they, Lois?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
is you grown,
like,
Lois? Lois, are you grown?
she mumbles something under her breath about being 20.
Bitch, are you grown?
No.
No. All right, so we're not taking drugs from Morgan. Take your brothers home.
She like sort of like stumbles to her feet. And like does the like hold out a hand on both sides, like trying to like this is how balance works. And like takes like a stumble, and like Noelle's like right there at her side trying to like hold like help her up. Like help make sure she doesn't fall or tip over or anything like that. And she goes, can I sit here for a while? Like spell?
Why don't you guys go sit on the porch and wait for Reese? I have to clean up this mess.
She'll be like, yeah, no, we can do that. We can definitely make it outside. And like when she gets outside, because the sun is still technically up, you can visually see her flinch back from the light. Like, oh god, it's light. And she sort of like stumbles like outside onto the porch and like sits down. But yeah, that's that. And now you have a pile of gross looking puke on your floor next to your counter.
You know, it's not the first pile of puke on that floor next to that counter. I grab a little stick, a stirring rod, and I very carefully push the half dissolved pill out of the big mess. And then I use a piece of paper to scoop it up and set it in an empty ingredient bowl, and then I clean up the rest of the mess.
Okay. So you clean it. It doesn't take you long to clean it up. It's just kind of gross. And you just mop it up or whatever. I don't know how you clean up puke that ends up on the floor. To be honest, I've never had to. I usually make it to a trash can. But you clean it up. You have the pill in the bowl, and what are you going to do with the pill? And it's like you can tell. It looks like so. Pixie is usually powdered. It is usually a powdered thing. This looks like someone has compressed the pixie into a pill, and it has not dissolved. But it's like so. The thing about pixie is, and the thing about the crystal is, they are attracted to itself. And so they usually form other crystals, and people are generally speaking smart enough not to take crystal. Whatever it is like still, I want to say soft enough that it's not hard crystal. It's literally like a pill. So yeah, what do you want to do with it? It smells like puke. and juice.
Well, thankfully, I don't have to touch it with my fingers because I still have that vial of purple pixie that I would not hand over to Cop. So I pull it out of my shirt and I hang it. I hold it just over the tablet to see if the tablet starts jumping because I'm pretty sure this is more of the bad fake pixie.
It sort of like wiggles, but doesn't like it does the wiggle like it's not enough of it to be attracted to. Like, it's not enough of the bad stuff in that pill to be attracted to the thing, but like enough that they are the same thing. Does that make sense? Like, it's not enough to like there's more other stuff in this pill than there is pixie in this pill.
Right. That strikes me as even worse because
they're mixing
there's
things.
going to be they're mixing things, and off the top of my head, I don't recognize what could make it look this color. I have no idea what would make somebody go up and down, in and out of a trip for more than 24 hours. Pixie doesn't do that. None of the drugs I know off the top of my head do that. I screw a cover over the ingredient bowl because I am deeply concerned and I need everyone else to see this when they get back.
Okay. Okay, so once you screw the cover on, what would you like to do?
I would like to go out to the porch and check on Lois and Noelle and see if Lisa's shown up yet.
He has, and like they're all like doing a like, are you okay? Like, this was a bad idea. Like, let's never do this again. Has anyone seen more? Like, she's sort of like sleepily interrogating her siblings if they've seen Morgan, because she's literally going to murder him when she finds him. Like, when she has the strength back up, she's going to commit murder.
Okay.
She's currently tired, but she knows it's coming.
I lurk in the doorway for a minute to see if I can hear Reese tell her where Morgan is. Because if Reese knows, I'm going for Morgan. Yeah, I have questions.
He's gonna be like, he's on the other side of the red market. Like, he's like, they haven't seen him like been hanging out where he hangs out on his usual like back alley corner thing. Like, he's not hiding. Like, he's in his usual haunts.
All right. So I tell the kids to skedaddle home. I tell Reese to support his sister. Tell Noah to watch their back. I lock up my shop and I head off across the red market because I have questions and Morgan has answers whether he knows it or not.
Correct. Okay, so we're gonna cut scene to Kira. I believe you were in your lab.
Yeah, I was in my workshop, sort of tinkering, and I think I actually just left because I just found a name and I threw a couple of the like purpley crystals into my bag, and then I was off to try and chat.
I'm trying to think of what that guy's name was. And Matt, I didn't write it down.
I know. I want to say it began with a H, but I can't remember.
I'm just gonna call him Horatio for the time being. I'm sorry, anyone who's watching this for the second time around, going, "Who the fuck is Horatio?" Well, he has a first and last name now. That's what we're gonna roll with. This is the first and last name. And so you were going to look for him, and like you know where he is because he's a regular customer of yours. And so when you get to his walk up, sorry, my cats are being suspicious behind me. Yeah, one is his government name and one is the thing his friends call him. You just happen to know both of these things because and you like knock on the door and like you hear some shuffling noises, like someone like and he opens, then like he like cracks the door open, like does the like you can see the chain is still on the door, Like, who is it? What do you want?
Hi, Horatio. It's Kira. Do you have a minute? I wanted to ask you some questions.
He like does the like nothing good comes from people asking me questions look. He's like, sure, 1 second. And like he like closes the door and like the chain, and you hear like the chain close, and you hear like 3 of them come off the door. Even though you only saw 1 of them. And you hear like three things happen at the same time. And then like he like opens the door, he's like, come in. How can I help you? Would you like some tea?
Yeah, I sort of bounce in and I'm like, yes, tea would be great.
And like he shuffles, like he's like an older-ish dude. Like not old. Like he's like firmly middle aged, but he kind of like walks like he's older than that. Like I like my hip hurts type. I'm old thing. He like kind of shuffles towards his kitchen. He sort of expects you to follow.
Yeah. I'm like, let me give you a hand. I will head over.
And like he'll start like fumbling around in his kitchen, like, okay, so like, what do you want? Like, he doesn't say what do you want, but he's like, how can I help you? Like, I don't have anything to sell. I don't have anything to sell you today. Like, you usually don't make house calls. What do you?
Yeah. Sorry to just like kind of turn up unannounced. But I had some really important questions. Nothing troublesome, I assure you. I just wondered, where have you been getting the crystals from that you've brought in recently? Like, you bring them in all the time, but these ones, I just wondered, were they from anywhere different or?
And like, he sort of like shrugs, like, no, they're from the usual people. No one, my usual people trying to like just, what's the word for it? Trying to move their ill-gotten gains. No one, he like sort of stops and thinks about it. He's like, yeah, no one knew.
Can I just check? Did I find that like the crystal that had come in from him was this purplish crystal? That was what I found, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll like look a little bit awkward and be like, now I know I don't normally ask this, and I'm not trying to stir up any trouble, but the people that you got this from, did they seem, I don't know.
Edgy?
Yeah.
I mean,
more so than normal.
Oh, he like sort of laughs. Like, did I think sketchy? They're all sketchy.
Like they were trying to move stuff quicker than normal. Or...
Yes, he'll like sort of nod, like, yeah. I mean, they're a little more pushy than normal, but given that there's a new crystal in Gelspar, I'm assuming they recognize that they are no longer what's the word for it? They no longer have the high ground. How do you describe that? English is a terrible language. They no longer they're like. So you know that because Gelspar's old crystal. The thing about Gelspar's old crystal, people kept chipping away bits and pieces of it, and so getting pieces of crystal was like it was a hot commodity to get a piece of crystal. And so with a new crystal in town, the old crystal's still there. With the old crystal still, okay, I can rephrase it. So what happened was the new crystal merged with the old crystal. There's now only one crystal in Gelspar, but like, here's the thing. There's no, it's now easier to get more crystal because it's no longer a scarcity. There's a whole new crystal sitting down there. Like there's a whole big ass crystal there.
There's a surplus.
There's a surplus, exactly. So they need to get rid of their stuff before people like get more, go, oh, I don't need you anymore because we have more of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's less. The supply is less.
Now the supply and demand.
Yeah.
Is now spot where it's still hard to get crystal, but like it will be easier eventually. Like just wait a couple weeks, maybe a couple months.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sort of say, so You get most of your crystal topside, right?
He'll nod, yes. Usually from some rich Ardillian,
Of course.
who's found. He does the air quotes with like one hand. He has a teacup mug in his other hand. Like who's found some crystal, and they just for the good of Delspar are trading it with me.
How don't they all say that? It's surprising how much of it's just found.
Yeah, he's just like it's so. You can practically taste the sarcasm in his voice. Like shockingly, Ardell just finds crystal places.
Yeah.
Like
I take my cup of tea from him and like agree and
like he's just like
go on with the sarcasm of like, yeah, of course they find it.
He's gonna be like it's going to be interesting these coming months with this new crystal and the power balance correcting itself, not writing it, correcting. And like he's like sort of like just like out loud musing, like he's not really like talking specifically to you, but he's going on about how now that Gelspor has a crystal as big as Ardell's, like we don't need them. We don't. They need us more than we need them. All of a sudden, like it's going to be interesting.
For sure. I'm gonna kind of set my key down and lean in and be like, okay, let me level with you. You bring up a good point there. I mean, Geldspar, we've always been a bit stuck with our crystal before. Now we have a new one. The people topside are kind of right to get worried because they need us more than we need them. And
he's like nodding along. Yeah.
So I kind of lean in a little bit conspiratorially, and I'm like,
he like leans in as well.
Yeah. Maybe they're doing something to our crystal. And I'm going to pull out one of the pieces I've brought that's kind of got the purplish hue.
He's like looks at it, go,
and say, I don't know if you've noticed, but a bunch of the stuff that's been coming through my shop has got this kind of odd taint to it. And I think it's going to cause trouble in the whole pixie community. And now I don't know if it's on purpose or if something's wrong, but I kind of need to know who this came from. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to get you in trouble or anything. It's just all messed up, where you get your supplies from. But I don't want this to come and start going around our community. That's going to be a problem.
He's going to nod like, yeah, no, that would definitely be a and he's gonna like look at it and he's gonna sort of like reach for the crystal that you have in your hand. Did you let him take it?
Yeah.
He like sort of like looks at it, like kind of examines it, and he goes, and goes, this looks. And he's gonna look at you and he's gonna be like, have you seen a rift before?
I haven't.
And so he's gonna tell you. So in universe thing, rifts are like, for lack of better words, holes in the universe. Where things are on the other side, and they can come through with the proper summoning. And so he's gonna be like, it sort of looks like a rift, and like he like sort of like turns it like it's crystal, but does the weird light refracting thing, not the scientific light refracting thing. And he's gonna be like, it is if you leaned in conspiratorial to him, he's sort of like whispering it back to you in that same sort of like, don't say this loud. I'm not supposed to. We're not supposed to talk about.
Yeah. Whilst the description of rifts is sort of happening, Kira's like eyes are widening in excitement of like, I've never even heard of this. Like, you could go to different places or things with it. I never heard of this before.
I don't. He's gonna be like, I don't know a lot about them. You hear whispers from people, especially up in Ardell, about this sort of stuff, about this sort of like people loose ships, you know. And occasionally some rich person will mention it because they're doing something they're not supposed to be doing. But I swear, if I didn't know any better, that's what this would be.
I'll sort of take back the crystal and look at it and be like, how would you put that into a crystal? Or how do you get it out?
He's gonna like shrug. He's like, that's beyond my. That's not
That's fine. This has been really helpful. I reckon I can do a lot with this.
And he's gonna nod. He's like, sorry, I can't be more helpful. I don't know. He's gonna be like, I don't even know. I don't even know who to point you. Like, I can't. Yeah, like, I don't know. I can't help beyond this like little bit of someone mentioned this to me in passing once. Like, be like going, and he's gonna be like, he's gonna be like, I only know about this because someone mentioned to me in passing, because there was a incident with a rift a couple of months back towards elevator shaft like 3, like, which is like their elevators that go up and down to Ardell, like, it's just, it was closed and people were wondering if someone let it slip, like someone said something to someone who said something to someone who said something, like, I heard through the grapevine, but I don't know how legit it was, like that something came through a purple.
This is, I sort of look and I'm like, no, you've been really helpful. Honestly, this is great. And I sort of like,
a little disappointed. Like, I really I don't like, he can't confirm anything he's telling you, but he's telling you like, I heard from someone who like typed you.
Yeah. I sort of like look him in the eye and I'm like, thank you so much. I might be back, but this is great. And I sort of like hold his hand and I leave him one of the crystals back, and just say, be careful with whatever's going on with it, but maybe it will be useful. Thank you for your help. And then with excitement, Kira sort of like runs out, the mug of tea sort of clatters as she's whisked off to tell Saren and people. Yeah.
Okay, so while
probably she'll head to Saren's because she doesn't know where the other two are on the top side. Yeah.
And so we're gonna cut Sorcha.
Yeah.
Sorcha. Sorry. I swear I got Arnica's name and then I just forgot everyone else's name.
I don't even know. I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. I don't even know. So.
Well, no, it's Sorcha. And I wrote it down. I need to. Anyway, back in the room. So you are in the library still, and you're like making a list. Okay, so now I'm like, as we play through this, I'm remembering things that I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And you were writing down a list of books that were missing from the well, not a list of books. So like, there's a book about the history of the crystals, and that book references a bunch of other books that you can't find. That's why you were mad.
And I had a list of those books that were in people's private collections, so I can go.
Like there was a one of a kind book type deal.
Yeah.
And are you going to try to go find these people and their books, or are you going to take the book that you have with the history of the crystal?
And these were books on like on how the crystals were made or their origin, correct?
It is mostly on their origin, not necessarily about how they were made. But even the books about the origin of the crystals are sort of like, and the crystals appeared. Like it's very non-specific information that like if you, it's like one of those. There'll be a footnote saying if you want more details about this particular thing, go look in this book that we currently don't have.
Yeah, she's gonna go follow up on it. It shouldn't take too terribly long because these are rich people who are, well documented, and she should be able to go there. And since she's a archivist, it's probably not too terribly uncommon for archivists to go to these people and be like, "Hey, can I borrow this unique book, or can I look at it? I know how to treat it."
Okay, so I'm gonna say that
Something like that was mentioned last week, I think.
yes. I'm trying to decide. So one of the so you'll realize you'll come to realize that there are only 5-ish names.
What was that?
There are only like 5-ish, like there are 5-ish names or last names specifically that seem to have these books. There are like they're all owned by basically the same set of people, same like 5 or so people.
That's probably not terribly uncommon.
Yeah, like they're all rich, they're all important people.
They're all probably collectors and stuff.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to decide. Okay, we're gonna just make last name. I hate this site. I just need names. Oh, I just need names. Terrible. Okay, we're gonna go with Moore. Last names are Moore, Anderson, Lee, and my other last name, Ash. That's what we're going.
What were the other names? Moore, Anderson.
Moore, Anderson, Lee, and Ash.
You cut out there for a second.
Oh, Moore, Anderson, Lee, and Ashfeld.
Okay.
Are the last names, and then there's the fifth one is Krell, Krell. And they're like names you sort of recognize as like
as these are the people with all the books.
Yes, these are the people with all the books. You sort of recognize them as names. So the way Ardell and Gelspar are set up, they are like ruling families, and then there's the Merchants Guild. And I think I mentioned this before. The Merchants Guild is currently like sort of in charge of everything by like we have the most money, therefore we have the most power, type thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. That checks.
And so the Council of Nobles, that's what they're called. The council, like you recognize these as names of people from the Council of Nobles. And so while the Council of Nobles is technically in charge, they're not. They don't oversee the day-to-day things. Like they get out. They're will get overruled more often than not, basically. And you will know that Kendrick Maddox, our good friend Kendrick, is a member of the Council of Nobles, and you also know he is
Remind me who Kendrick. Kendrick Maddox, right?
Kendrick Maddox. He's the guy who was like, "Hey, can you?" He's the one who originally. So, backstory because it's been a while. Kendrick was the guy who sent the original team to go find the crystal, and they came back with a crystal. And then he's trying to. He's despite being a noble and a person of Ardell. Excuse me. He is he's trying to not split Gelspar from Ardell, but he's trying to win the favor of Gelspar so they'll back his play to be in charge. Like, if I get their favor, maybe they'll side with me. And like, the more people who side with me and the more power I have, he's trying to consolidate power, basically.
He wants people to vote for him.
Yeah, it's technically if voting was a thing that happened, yes. He wants people to vote
more or less.
And you recognize them as names as people who are on the Council of Nobles, and Maddox is a merchant who wants to be on that council.
I see. So, okay.
He wants to be the official and unofficial person in charge of things, basically.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. Perfectly wonderful person.
Oh, perfectly wonderful person. Sorcha's not going to go to Kendrick. She's going to go directly to the book people in just her normal professional way, with the slightest bit of annoyance that all archivists have, that these people are hogging all the books to themselves.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that you go to we're gonna start with the Lee family, just because I feel like going to the Lee family because they're there.
Okay.
Just cause. And so like when their house is pretty fancy. Like, it's a pretty fancy, well-to-do place. And when you knock on a door, like a what's it called? I know the word is major domo, but that's too fancy for what this person is. But like it's basically the equivalent of major domo answers the door. Like Alfred from Batman answers the door.
Yeah, butler.
Butler, thank you. I couldn't think of what the word. Like, what is the word? Opens the door and it's just like, how can I help you? Do you have an appointment?
Pardon, my name is Sorcha. I'm from the archive. I'm currently working on a rather important project, and I would like permission to access. Would it be Mr. Lee? Like Sorcha would know this.
Yes, it would be. Well, it wouldn't be Mr. Lee. It'd be the Lee family.
Okay, the Lee family archive.
And he'll make a face like another one, or not necessarily another one, but like, oh, one of you people.
Yeah, I mean, it's you guys have the only copies of some of the books that we generally need for these sort of things.
He'll be like, one moment, please, while I check with the master. And he'll like do the thing where he closes the door.
She's gonna say before you go, I wouldn't want to inconvenience him, obviously.
No, he's like, it's no inconvenience at all. It's just.
Oh, is something wrong?
No, he's just gonna be like, one moment, please. I mean, he like closes the door, and like you can like the door is like thick enough that you don't hear anything. It was like, well, he like walks away, and like about 5 or so minutes later, comes back and reopens the door. And, like this time, he like opens the door. Actually, no. he like opens the door enough that you can like come inside. And he's just like, please follow me. And like he like turns and like walks away again, doing the thing that people do where they expect you to follow.
Yeah, Saoirse will follow.
And he leads you to like up a flight of stairs, down a hallway, and like to a big double doors, and he like pushes one of the doors open, and inside is like
Saoirse walks into
the
like
library.
the banister and stuff because she's
Okay.
looking around so much.
He'll like look back at you like, are you okay? Do you need help? Are you?
It's just the house is nice.
Yes, we do keep an immaculate home for the family.
Yeah, I'm just I'm looking there and not where I'm going.
Well, you should keep your eyes in front of you. It would benefit you greatly. And like he says that like in like the snarky kind of way that like rich people who take care of rich people say things. Like it's kind of rude, but also really like technically polite.
Well, I mean, I was just admiring the house. I can stop if you want.
And he like kind of like huffs like, okay, and like he's just like his face is like his face reads like goddamn children. Like they don't pay, like you have me consorting with the common folk. They don't pay me enough for this. Like I'm clear. Like have you ever seen Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah.
You know how whatchamacallit face is that Jazzy Jeff's face every time he shows up in the house?
Yeah.
Like that's the face he's making. That's the face like you don't belong here, but you're friends with the young master, so I have to like put up with you. But I would put you out in a heartbeat.
Like Saoirse's not using a rude tone. Like she's clearly just poking fun.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, she did run into a banister after all.
Jeffrey, there we go. Thank you. I was like, what is his name? Joffrey. No, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. I can never remember. Geoffrey. English is a stupid language. I maintain that. I maintain that. And so he'll lead you to the library, and he'll be like, the books that you're looking for are on the back shelf. You'll know them when you see them. And he'll sort of like gesture you into the library. And he's like, feel free to examine any of the books you'd like I will be back in an hour. Or rather, you have an hour.
Okay, thank you. Like Saoirse's taking out like, she's already taking out like a pair of gloves and, you know, her pen and like a blank like book for taking like notes and stuff.
Okay. And
you know, because you have to wear gloves when handling rare books.
Let me. Oops, I can spell. No, I can't. Why am I lying? Okay. Oh, okay. I'm just looking for something. Okay, there we go. Oh, damn it. Fuck. Sorry, everyone who had to hear that. Fuck, sorry. So when you go straight for the books that you're looking for are in a they're clearly like the fancy books, like they're clearly like they are like on a, how would you describe this shelf? They're on a shelf by themselves with two bookends on either side. They're in like a glass case to like keep air out of them, but there's like a little like twisty knob thing that like decompresses the air in them, and then you can open them and like take them out and handle them. Like they're clearly marked as these are the fancy books. But there are also other books in the library that you can examine.
She'll make a passing glance at them as she heads to them, just sort of taking notes of where everything is and what might be in here that that might be useful for this. But for the most part, she's going to go for the
Fancy books,
yeah,
fancy boys
yeah.
in the back. Okay.
'Cause she knows she doesn't have access to those normally.
Correct. I mean, to be fair, you are Sorcha is aware. Sorry. Is aware that that there are certain families in Ardell who have books that she doesn't have access to on a regular basis. Like they're not like there is so if in the universe there are 3,000 books, like total, it's 3,000 books in the entire universe. About 2,000 of them are in the archive. The other 1,000 books that are missing aren't missing; they're just in private collections. So she's aware that besides these fancy books, there are other books in this library that she doesn't have access to, but like they may not be related to the topic that she currently cares about.
Okay.
Um,
She will just first things first. She will get what she came here for.
Okay.
She will pull out the book that's being referenced.
Yep.
Like skim through it, find the parts she needs, write them down in the most unreadable shorthand ever.
And so the book that you find, the book that was being referenced, is called "The Origins and Properties of Crystals and the Origins and Properties of Crystals and no, just the Origins and Properties of Crystals." And when you flip, I'm like writing this down.
It's okay.
I have really bad handwriting. Okay, so when you open the book to the section that you're looking for, like you had, because you wrote in the page number that the book was referencing, the way the bibliographies reference the page, the section. And the bit that you read is like the crystals are made up of hundreds of crystal shards, that maintain the original property of the hearth crystal, which originally different, and the only difference between shards from the same crystals, the only difference is shards from the same crystals are attracted to one another. A crystal shard will provide personal protection against the miasma, the effects become stronger the more shards that are bunched together. By the same token, a hearth crystal will become weaker if too many shards are being removed.
Okay. And the big crystals that are powering the cities are hearth crystals, right? When they're big. Okay.
Yes, the big crystals are hearth crystals. So basically, the book is telling you that the crystals, hearth crystals, each individual hearth crystal is special, and they are attracted to their own kind of crystal, and they protect from the miasma, and the more crystal you have, the harder it is for the miasma to attach itself to the space that you're in. And the less crystal you have, the weaker that hearth crystal is. Therefore, the stronger the miasma will be.
Okay.
You have any questions?
This
is a bit weird to ask questions, and I'll tell you information.
I did have a question.
Yes.
So, this purple crystal is attracted to the old crystal.
It's attracted to other purple crystals.
Only purple crystals? It doesn't stick to the.
It will. I can spell.
Is the purple crystal behaving like it was part of the old Geldspark crystal? When you put it
kind of. And by kind of, I mean like it does the wiggle like I want to join you, but then it like, does it like so. You'll know that basically when you put two pieces of crystal from the same crystal together, they are instantly attracted to one another. Like there's no hesitation. There's no let me think about it for a moment. It's just like we're going home together. Where this crystal are going, I think I belong to you, but I'm not really sure that I belong to you. But I guess I can go home with you.
If you were to take two completely different crystals and put them together, they would not do that at all.
Correct.
Okay. So that's valuable to know.
Yes, like two unrelated crystals will not like the crystal from Ardell and a crystal from Galspar are not attracted to one another. They are two completely separate and different crystals, therefore they don't talk.
Okay.
But the purple crystal and the Galspar crystal go, we might want to talk, but I'm not quite sure I speak your language. I'm sorry for my mixed metaphors. I apologize in advance. I should stop that.
It's okay. And the hearth crystals are made of many, many tiny shards.
Yes.
Okay. Then what constitutes crystals to want to be together? Because if the hearth crystal is made of tiny shards, is it that there's a property of these shards that are combine them into a hearth crystal, or is it the fact that at one point the hearth crystal was one, it was broken into shards and then put back together into a hearth crystal? Because if they're the same and they're attracted together, then if it's a bunch of shards that were the same.
Wait, what?
I'm not sure if this is important.
No, it might be, but I need you to rephrase the question.
Okay. All of the shards are shards that go together are attracted to one another.
Mm-hmm.
And shards that are from different ones, they don't stick together at all.
Correct.
So my question is, if a big crystal is actually a bazillion smaller crystals, what makes those smaller crystals before they become the big crystal?
Oh, okay. So that's gonna be a question that is not answered in the book.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you as the voice in the sky, yes, that's important. But no, the book does not tell you the answer. Like no one knows. There's no written explanation anywhere that you've ever found, even in any of the special books, that say where the crystals come from. It's that they are a thing that have happened. They were a apparently naturally occurring thing that occurred. They're usually found in skyworms, but no one can prove skyworms are real things.
Okay, so that might just be someone that might just be a
like as far as okay, so you know from actually, do you know this? You know this. Did you talk to Baron Maddox? No, right? That was
I would assume that Kendrick might have boasted when sending.
No, I'm trying to think. Okay.
Sorcha to do stuff. I don't know.
Oh wait, that's the thing. Did Kendrick talk to Sorcha?
Yeah, he did. He directly spoke with Sorcha at the very beginning.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was her or Verity that he had spoken to. I couldn't remember. Okay, so he would have told you that according to the people who got hit the Galspar crystal, they found the crystal in the Skyworm. And the only people who can confirm this are the chasers that had found the only people who can confirm this are the chasers who had been searching out Hobbs. His name is Hobbs. Had been searching out Hobbs for other reasons. And the original team that had found the crystal. Basically, only two people confirmed the sky worm had the crystal, but no one knows how the sky worm got the crystal. It's like, this is where we found it. We found it in this cave. Don't know why it was there, but that's where we found it. Type deal.
It's a big mystery like the spice.
Yeah, it's like a chicken or the egg. It's sort of like actually no, it's sort of like a chicken or the egg. The Skyworm eat the crystal or the Skyworm cause the crystal? No one quite knows because no one can prove like no there's no anyone who's seen us except for the previous team, no one has lived or returned from seeing a Skyrim that is believable.
Okay. Look, Sorcha is then going to check the other rare books on anything about skyworms.
Oh, okay. And so if you like, for lack of, I'm gonna pretend that there's a book of books that tells you about books and where to find other books about the thing that you're looking for. Like
There's probably a lexicon.
Yeah, a lexicon. There we go. And so you know that the room, there's pictures. Actually, let me see if I can pull up a picture. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna throw it in Discord chat. Hi, do I have a picture of one of you? Yes, I do. Yay. Copy image. I'm just gonna put this in chat, and you can see what it looks like. So this picture will be in a book. It's like it'll like be with a note, like a rendition of a Skyworm. Copy image address.
That's not nightmare fuel at all.
It's not nightmare fuel at all. I put it in regular in Twitch chat so people in Twitch can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's not terrifying, not at all.
No, but no one can
certainly cuddly.
It is cute and cuddly, and wonderful and lovely, and no one can prove that they're real. No one believes that these are real things.
No.
Those teeth. Oh my gosh.
Yes, Sorcha is going to do a very quick sketch of a Skyworm in her thing, and then she's gonna draw she's gonna draw 2 little dots for eyes and make little angry eyebrows on it too.
And so
because our artistic license, she's chalking it up to.
Yeah, no, that's valid. That's valid.
Then she's going to try and look through like she's looking for like Skyworm origins, Skyworm like even if it's like legends on where they might come from.
So the legend is, how do I want to phrase it? So the legend has it that something happened, and then there were rifts there are rifts and rips in the dimension, in the universe. And from the dimension, the thing that came from them was Skyward. Supposedly, but no one can prove it. It's so long ago, it's such a long period of time ago that anyone who had written anything about it had been written off as like not sane, for lack of a better word. Like it's a rumor from a person who might have heard it from their grandfather who swears they saw this thing when they were a child, but you can't prove it. Like
yeah, and any books were written in that sort of hearsay kind of thing too. Oh, every Sorcha knows every legend has a grain of truth in it. So she's going to,
and supposedly the rifts in the universe are where the Skyworms came from, and the thing that leaks from the rift is the miasma, but at the same time, despite causing the rifts in the universe and the miasma that currently covers like most of the universe or the world, the planet, they also brought hearth crystals with them. Like they brought the crystals, like the Skyworms are both the cause and the solution to the miasma and the fracturing of the planet. Because at some point or another, so in and because you were born here and you lived here your whole life, Axia, the planet, the world of Axia, there was a thing called, I think I mentioned this, there was a thing called Calamity that had took place 1,000 years ago. No one really knows what happened, but basically the entire world actually like broke up into a bunch of tiny little floating continents. And so supposedly the thing that caused the breaking up of the planet was the sky worms breaking through the rift. But again, no one really remembers, and that's sort of like a weird, haha, the Earth is being carried by a turtle thing. Like, yes. You cut out?
No, I'm trying to articulate this thought because it's like, if the crystals are what caused the continents to float, and someone had to take the crystals from the worms, but the worms emerging broke up the continents and caused the miasma, and the miasma kills people. Like that should be common. That's probably common knowledge? Miasma will kill people.
Yeah, miasma killing people is common knowledge. That is common. Don't go out by yourself. Don't go out into Axia skies without a crystal, because the crystal keeps the miasma away. Don't do that. That's bad. Bad time. Don't go flying on a plane.
So I'm not sure if this is related. Either the calamity happened. So this is going to click for Sergio. The calamity happened very slowly enough for people to actually, put the crystals in the floating in the continents to make them float, or something, or there might be more to it.
Yes.
Because the continents didn't just start. Humans placed the crystals to keep the continents floating. So how and why was this discovered? Like, how, and if it's so hard to get crystals out of skyworms, but there's miasma everywhere, how did anyone survive? There seems to be a step missing somewhere.
There's about 300 years of history missing.
Oh goody. She's going to quickly, if she still has time, check the rare books for riffs as well. Anything on riffs?
When you find the bits about riffs where they should be in a book, so when like the FBI redacts stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Even in their fish, like you could tell someone wrote something there at some point or another. There were words, but someone has deliberately and intensely covered it with like solid black ink. Like you can't, like when sometimes you cover something in black ink, you can sort of like shift it. You can still sort of see the letters.
Oh boy.
Someone's like gone over it. Like no, you will never see what was ever there. All you see is about four lines of text in one of the books, and they are like solidly blacked out.
Okay. Does this look like an older ink?
Yes.
Or does it look like?
No, this looks like it's been like this for a very long, long time. Like this book is crispy and this ink is old.
Well, Sorcha's first thing is going to do is to change the angle of light. See if even if you use unless you use the exact same ink to cover something, if you use a different kind of ink to cover certain text. Yeah.
No, even when you shift it, you can sort of make out like the idea that this is where this line is a period here or something like that, but you literally cannot make out anything. Like maybe they didn't go with like the last period in a sentence, so you can make out there's like 5 sentences, but like for the most part, everything is solidly blacked out.
If she had more time, she might be able to figure out what kind of ink the normal text is written in, and if the other ink is different, it might be possible to use something to remove some of the ink covering it.
Like if you had time, you could probably
because different inks dissolve in different stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could probably like you know how Sharpie dissolves not Sharpie. No, yeah, Sharpie dissolves by erase marker.
Yeah.
You could sort of do that if you had more time, but you don't have the time or the tool.
The archive has the tools.
The archive would have the
Sorch is going to put all the books but that one back.
Okay.
This
one is the world. It's called the World of Axia.
Okay.
It just has a note.
Okay, she's going to give a quick look around the lexicon and the library and just any other books that she doesn't think that she has or she didn't see in the archive. She's going to give a quick skim through, see if there's anything she missed. Maybe not.
So there will be one other set of things that you'll note, and like it'll be a it's a research journal of a dude named Erwin Kell, which you'll recognize Krell as one of the family names of people who have these special books. It's a research journal about it's a research journal that he wrote, and there's bits of it. Like, the only reason why it stands out to you is because bits of it, similar to the bit about riffs, is also blacked out. Like not all of it, but bits of it are blacked out. And the bits that aren't blacked out there's like a line that says there's a dense cloud of swirling purple mist that seems to be giving off a strange and potent energy.
A strange and what energy?
Potent.
Oh, okay.
Their own there's like a bit that's blacked out, and then it goes their own experiments lack imagination. I think that it's highly unintelligent to tampering is the. I think it's likely that their unintelligent tampering is responsible for whatever's happening in our world. We must transform the summit, possibly all of Axia. We could transform the summit and possibly all of Axia if we found a way to harness it.
Okay, Sorch is going to open up to a new page and copy this down word for word.
Okay,
and
I'll put it in
leave lines out where things were blacked out.
Okay. Yeah,
like she makes a horizontal line. She copies the she'll even copy down like spelling errors, exact punctuation, line width. She's doing her best to make an exact, tracing of it without actually tracing.
Okay. Yes, Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. Is there anything else that you want to do before we take our 10-minute break?
One other thing. As soon as I'm assuming like Sorch is probably out of time at this point.
You have like maybe 15 minutes.
She'll give everything another once over and poke her head out at assuming the butler's probably going to buttle his way back.
Yes.
She's going to say, like, I need to talk to the master. I have discovered some damage in his collection. Would it be okay if I would gladly repair the books if he would allow me?
The butler will look at you and look at the books in your hand and go.
She didn't bring the books with her. She's just saying there's just damage. One of the books is one of the rare collection, and we will of course do this, no charge right away, as thanks for letting me access his collection. It's very generous of him, and as you know, the archive wants to help maintain both the master's collection as well. Like he would know that the archive.
Yeah.
That way, the archive can still access them.
He will be like, one moment, please. I will follow me. One moment, please follow me.
Okay.
And, like, he sort of like walks away. And like again expects you to follow, does not look back.
She'll follow.
And he'll lead you to what you can tell is an office. Like it's like one of those big, again, fancy. Oh, sorry, I keep leaning away from my mic. Fancy double doors, big office, and like he'll like knock like gently on the door, and you'll hear someone say, "Come in." You'll hear a woman say, "Come in," and he'll like open a door, and inside you'll see a woman. She's sitting behind a desk. There's like a bunch of stacks of papers all around her. And she sort of she doesn't look up. Like from whatever she's doing, she doesn't look up. And she's just like, yes.
Sorcha will step in, respectfully sort of like nod her head like I'm Sorcha Keegan. I'm from the archive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to disturb you. I came to reference some of your books, and I noticed that some damage in some of the one of your rarer books.
When you say damage in one of the rarer books, she'll immediately look up.
I would, if it would be okay, I will. If you would allow it, I will take it to the archive.
No.
Repair it, and okay. I also noticed a few of the other books had some little bits of damage. Would you allow me to? Okay.
Why? And she'll like look at you and be like, "Why are you?" She'll literally go, "Why were you looking at those books?" And she'll like list the names of the books. There's only two of them, but she'll list the two names of books: the World of Axia, the original properties of Crystal. Like, why were you? What were you doing? What does the archive have? What is the archive doing? Looking into what is the archive doing? I guess is the better question. The question that she'll ask.
Well, Geldspar just got a new crystal, and we're just trying to come. Yeah, there was just been some.
And she'll like when you say Geldspar, she'll like make a like. Geldspar,
there's been some rekindled interest in the whole thing, and I was just trying to document the historical significance of this event, and I was looking into crystals.
And she'll be like,
completely honest.
She's gonna like purse her lips, like, there's nothing that anyone needs to know that is not publicly available about the crystal. And she'll like do the like, and you are now dismissed. The answer is no, you are now dismissed.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry to have bothered you. Sorcha will again nod and head out.
Okay. Jeffrey, yeah, I'm naming him Jeffrey. We'll be waiting for you outside, like literally like outside the door, because like he didn't close the door behind you. And
yeah,
he'll be like waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, Sorcha will head down and like she will visibly put the books back, the ones that she set to the side just in case.
Yeah, he will watch you, but he's not watching you in the sense of like, I don't trust you to not steal these books. He's watching you in the sense of like, can you leave? Like, yeah, I want you to leave. Like, not that I don't trust you to, like, it's not that he thinks you're gonna steal the books. It's more that he thinks if he doesn't watch you, you're not gonna leave.
I mean, that's fair.
Like you'll hide among the stacks, never leave. He's like, no, I'm gonna stay here and make sure you leave this building.
Sorcha already is like, ooh, she's not happy.
That's fair. That's valid. That's a valid.
She is making a note to complain to her friends later. She writes that down. Complain to friends later.
Okay. And he will lead you to the exit unless you have anything that you would like to.
No, she'll go and she'll thank him. You were very helpful. Thank you.
It was our pleasure to assist the archives.
You don't have to lie to me. It's okay.
And he'll like smile, like, please don't come back.
I'm sorry. We're going to have to sometime come back because you guys don't let us copy the books down and make inventories for the archive. So we have to come back sometimes. I'm sorry.
And he'll be like, have a good day.
You too.
And he'll like let you. He'll like gently, but like you know, like when you want to slam the door, but you don't slam the door.
Yeah.
He does that. Like, please don't come back. But also, I'm too polite to tell you don't come back. Like technically you've done nothing wrong, so he can't tell you to not come back. But like he's thinking if she comes back. Okay.
Sorcha makes a note to come back later.
Okay. So we are gonna take our break right now because it's been apparently 2 hours. Oh, thank you. I don't know how that happened. And when we get back, the team will get back together. Where would you all like to meet?
Actually,
Yes.
I think that I'm not sure where we'd like to meet, but Sorcha would like to eventually go and talk to Krell about it.
Oh, okay.
Just because this was a research journal from someone named Krell, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm sure the Krell family would love to know that one of their family's research journals is in another family's archive.
Oh, yes, probably. That is a valid thing to know.
And that family has vandalized it.
That's a word to describe what they've done to it.
Oh, just yeah.
They're off of politics. It's fine.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay. Let's take our break, everyone. We'll be back. wave, wave, and wave, and wave, and wave, and wave, and wave. Okay. Hi everyone, we're back. Welcome back to Emberwind Skies of Axia. I am your storyteller, Imani. We are in the midst of a great old mystery. And if you missed it, remember that for every 100 bits you give a cast member, you can gift for every 100 bits, you can gift a cast member a reroll. For every subscription, you can gift an auto crit to a player. And if you want to donate money to either Streamlabs or Coffee, you can make stuff happen by giving me suggestions. And also just a reminder that we are doing, not we are, Valdrianth, lovely Val. For the entire month of November, for every $1 donated is for all sub points in the month of November is being met with a $1 donation to Extra Life by Val. And if you stick around to the end of our stream, there'll be a raffle for official Emberwind's content, which consists of the Hero Manual, Skies of Axia, Songweaver's Tapestry, and Wailing Song. Also, any purchases made on the emberwinds.com site with the code Valdrianth will also get you 10% off any item that you purchase. If you don't win the raffle, feel free to buy stuff on your own, basically, because it's great. I love Emberwinds. I think everyone should play it. Anyway, so we're back, and so I believe we were. Are you going to the Krell family, or are you going to do that later?
She'll do that later. She wants to see what everyone else found out and inform them of who she's going to then go talk to.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that you all are gonna meet at Saren's house just because it's a convenient location, and you all know where it is.
Okay.
And so when you get to you all basically get to Saren's house in reverse order that you left in. But about the same amount of time, and you basically like, okay, we're just gonna wait for the other person to show up before we start this conversation.
Sorcha knocks way too many times.
Very excited to be. Saren, your door's being knocked on.
I come out from behind the counter and sling open my door because I assume it's a child knocking that low on the door that excitedly. And I am
not that short. Like, she's short. She's fairly short.
Hi, insert Thor gift here.
I found out so much. Oh my gosh. I mean, there's a lot I didn't find out, but I found out what I didn't know. So if I know what I don't know, and what I need to find out, that means I can find it out.
Come inside, please.
Okay. And she zips inside.
I think like behind down the street, you see Kira like running in excitement, and as she gets to the door, she's like, did you know there's like rifts to other places? Like, she starts off really loud, and then she realizes she's meant to be quiet about it, so she goes like, rifts? Like, they go to different places.
Saren stops, looks out the door real quick, scans around to make sure no one else is coming, grabs Kira by the top of the head, big palm, and just kind of steers her in the door.
Oh, hi there.
Everyone's inside. For the sake of narrative reasons, Charity is not here yet. They are off. They have not returned yet. You will find out what they were up to next week. But when I'm sorry, my cat. I would like you all, and it's going to seem redundant, but it's important, to recap to one another what you thought was important about what you just learned. Who wants to go first?
Saren crosses the room, hops up on her counter next to her cash register, and they start to drum their legs. So, you both came in hot. What'd you find?
Oh, I found so much, but
What did you find?
So, I went to see a client of mine, someone who brings in crystals all the time, and he said that like he didn't know much about it, but he heard people topside talking about it, and that maybe it seemed like it could be something to do with a rift. I had no idea what this is, but apparently, like, it's a kind of like a change in space, like it can let you go to different places, maybe. I don't really know much about it, and honestly, neither did he, but maybe this crystal, the purple ones, have got something to do with that.
Oh, I read something about rifts too, and but unfortunately there was a lot of it that was it was in a book, it was in a rare collection, and I went and I opened it, and someone had taken a pen and blacked it out. You've never seen Sorcha angry. She's still smiling, but she has like murder in her eyes. How could anyone vandalize a rare book like that? And the owner wouldn't even let me take it back to fix it, because I can fix it. I can fix it. And then I found another book with more information in it, which was also blacked out. It wasn't even her book. I'm sorry, please continue.
Are you telling me you don't like draw in every book that you get?
I mean, doodling in the margins is like a time-honored tradition for a lot of old books that have art in them, because people get very bored when copying that many books. So they draw lots of things in the margins. But when you cover the text intentionally with a big, thick black line so no one can read it, that's a problem. You know, like if you're trying to cover text that you do not want anyone to read, intentionally so.
Oh,
and
okay.
I was told that all information regarding the subject was everything that anyone needed to know was publicly available, meaning that yes, there was something in there that they didn't want us to know.
That makes sense with what Horatio was saying to me. Like, he was saying it's something that clearly people aren't meant to talk about.
Well, that's kind of problematic.
Kind of. Although maybe your books have been blacked out, but clearly some people have still mentioned it. So there must be someone in the city we can talk to.
Probably, but I wouldn't know who to ask. I only know what books to ask or read. You can't ask books things. That's silly. But anyway, other than I read a lot of stuff that would be, you know, common knowledge. The crystals protect you from miasma. You know, they come from the Skyworm supposedly, and but there's also like stuff where I read about there were rips that opened, and there was the you know, when everything ended, and that's what caused everything to float upward. But then I had a thought, if the crystals make everything float and keep everything away from miasma, and the Skyworms came through with the miasma, and there's a bunch of things that happened where who took the crystals and put them in the islands to make them float, or the cities, and wouldn't everyone have just died from the miasma? Or the Skyworms themselves? Because you can't, if everyone's sick and dying from miasma, how do you get a crystal from a Skyworm? There's a big step that's missing here. Also, crystals are originally made of lots of shards. I don't know if that's something everyone knows. It's something that I know now. But why would if crystals that are of the same crystal are attracted to each other, if shards of the same crystal, if you have a bunch of them that make a big crystal, and two crystals that are different don't attract each other, why do all the shards of a particular group clump together like that? That's something that I don't know either. And it's like
there's it's like when you have a puzzle and you're missing just that one piece in the middle, and it's someone's face. It's like, what is that person supposed to look like? So Sorcha just starts to make increasingly obtuse metaphors.
Like, so during this, Kira is sort of like just leaning backwards as Sorcha is getting like quicker and quicker. And then it's just gonna be like, okay, wait. You there's a lot of words there. And a lot of stuff.
I very much like words.
The thing that I was thinking, skyworms?
Yes, the sky worms. Look, I drew one. Sorcha will show the picture that is otherwise quite nice and detailed. It's like a nice ink sketch, and then there's just like little angry eyes on it.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Unfriendly.
Theron hops down and walks over to lean closer and look very closely at the angry-eyed sketch. Skyworms aren't real.
Well,
even if they used to be real, I don't think. If skyworms are real, why aren't they swimming by, picking off delicious little nibbles off the floating islands that can't get away? Skyworms aren't real, but you know what is real? Saren walks around and picks up the ingredient jar with the lid screwed on it with the half-dissolved tablet. They are making brand new drugs out of this purple pixie. And I just managed to get a little girl to, I suppose she's grown. Don't ever tell her I said she's grown. Kira, you know Lois.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lois was stuck on one of these. She was stuck on a bad trip the last 2 days. That's why no one's seen her.
Oh, I was wondering, who did she take it from? She should know not to just take any random old thing.
Fucking Morgan.
Oh.
So, I don't know what a rift is. I know skyworms aren't real, but I know that Morgan knows where you can get pixie pushed into a tablet.
Well,
so
that's kind of strange, like, because wouldn't the pixie in the tablet squish itself into a crystal?
You would think so. There's something else in here, something that keeps crystal powder from returning into crystal. And I think we should ask Morgan what it is.
I've never heard of
eventually.
I've never heard of anything like that. But this sounds like something that someone is. I mean, I hate to say it like this, but this sounds like a conspiracy going on that we're digging into, and I find that invigorating. And every single little rumor, anything, any myth that exists, any big fish story that someone tells has the smallest sliver of truth in it. If you can figure out that bit of truth, regardless of what the story is actually about, there's always something there to start with that has to be overinflated to create your myth. So or any rumors that go down the line, he said, she said, and it just gets completely distorted. But there's always a root of that original in there. We need to follow that. Oh, this is so exciting.
Well, today's truth is going to be that I threatened to dangle Morgan off the edge of Felspar, and tomorrow's legend will be that I chucked Morgan off Felspar. Let's go find Morgan.
I'm definitely up for that. Having said that, I mean, I'm still up for getting Morgan. But I reckon let's not rule out that maybe something topside is going on as well. Horatio was saying,
absolutely something topside is going on.
He gets most of his crystals from up there. What's to say they're not the ones that are doing it?
Oh,
seems like the kind of thing that they might do.
Sorcha leans in.
Keep us dependent.
You mean the purple crystal, right?
Yeah.
It's coming from. Oh my! This is interesting.
But for now, and I look at Saren,
Morgan, he's not smart enough to make this himself. He got it from somebody. He's going to tell us where he got it.
Well, considering that no one supposedly knows how to make crystal, and we found information on crystals that has been removed topside, I would assume that maybe someone topside knows how. That sounds that's a I like Sorge is just bouncing in her seat. Let's go.
Book lady, you want to come with us to meet Morgan? She sort of like side glances at Saren and is like, or I mean,
oh no, she's coming. I for everyone's safety, I don't think we should leave her alone in here.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if threatening to dangle him doesn't work, I can threaten to set him on fire.
See, my shop is very flammable, darling. Let's all go find Morgan. I put one hand in the smallest Sorce's back and start steering everyone towards the door.
Oh,
I like it
set your
more
house on
when
fire,
you
or your
talk
shop
about
on
fire than books. I'm more behind that. Kira will sort of like follow at the shop, and she's gonna get her weapon Grace out as well, ready for yeah.
Most people are surprised when I talk about fire because I like books so much, but I don't use them at the same time. That would be bad. I don't want to see the books on fire. That's the one thing that shouldn't be on fire.
I don't know. I mean, books are pretty good if you don't have anything to heat up over winter. They burn pretty long.
I'm gonna assume that you're walking and talking as this happens.
Yeah.
Okay, Sorsha looks mortified that you said that. Just absolutely distraught. No,
You know,
why would you do that? There are so many other things that you can burn.
I mean, I guess just they're really good starting the fire. I forget I said anything.
And so as you're talking and walking, you like cross the red market and like you see the other side, and you see a guy, and both Saren and Saren and Kira, you'll recognize this guy that you're seeing who's like kind of like, you know when you do the thing where you're not loitering but you're loitering?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing the I'm not loitering. Officially, I'm not loitering because I move from place to place, but I'm totally loitering in the same place. And you'll recognize it as Morgan. And like he'll do the thing where like he's like looking around, like inconspicuous, like whatever, like I'm just chill, whatever. And the second he sees you, Saren, he's going to look around, see if anyone else is around him and you could be looking at. And are you looking at him? Like directly at him? Yeah, he's gonna take off running.
I was gonna say during this time, I think. Well, would we know who would have been here?
Yes, you did know. You knew that because Noelle tells you that he's on the other side of the red market. The thing about Morgan, the thing with Morgan was he wasn't hiding because he didn't think he did anything wrong. But now that he sees Saren, he thinks he's done something wrong. So I'm gonna run.
Yeah. So I think as we approach the red market, I would have said to Saren like, I'll like head around the other way, see if in case he takes off. So I think from like a side street as he starts running, Kira will basically start chasing after him as he's running from Saren.
So he's gonna do the thing. So it's gonna be, how do we want to do this? He is going to run and he's gonna see you and he's gonna do the like shit. I can't make it past you because there are people in the way, but I also can't stay where I'm currently standing because she's gonna murder me. So I have to make a decision, and he's gonna you can see him mentally doing making this choice, like who's scarier, and he's gonna be like, you know what? Nope, Saren's definitely scarier. And Kira, he's gonna like barrel into you like football tackle, kind of like shoulders down, head down. Like hopefully I have enough weight behind me to like knock you to the ground and keep going. Type.
I mean, if Sorcha sees everyone going after him, Sorcha's gonna head over to and just obnoxious. She's going to. Yeah, she's going to try and run over as well.
So he's now being chased.
Yeah, she's I don't know what else are you guys doing?
Yeah, like what is Saren and Kira doing? Kira, you've been barreled into. I don't think he has enough weight behind him to knock you to the ground, but he does knock you to the side, kind of like you sort of stumble as he barrels into you. Because he doesn't like. He slowed, but he did not stop running. So he has the speed momentum behind him.
So I think Kira tries to sort of like she tries to like roll with it. That's sort of her like style. So as he sort of knocks her, she sort of falls and rolls, and then is gonna try, if she's quick enough, to get her sort of staff and sweep it like from the floors, like sweep it underneath his feet to try and trip him up.
Okay.
He runs.
Saren, what are you doing as this is happening? Because it's all happening. It's all happening simultaneously.
All right. I watched Kira take off in one direction a few minutes ago. Sorcha take off just a second ago, straight ahead through the crowd, hoping she doesn't get trampled. We're at the Red Market. The Red Market is an outdoor market with just regular stalls like you would find. All right. I step up on a table and hop up on top of the stalls and run across the stalls to cut Morgan off, because there's only two directions he can go, and Kira has cut off one of them, so I know where he's headed.
Okay. So as you do that, you can hear people like, because you're one tall and two climbing on top of their things, like everyone's sort of like yelling and like making a fuss about it. But when I see Morgan running, like everyone sort of like not scatters per se, but like gets
Just like,
out of the way.
Just like, oh crap.
Yeah. And so when Kira takes a sweep at his leg, when Kira takes a sweep at his legs, he sort of like trips over your staff, and like stumbles, and like he sort of does the rolling, like I'm like roll with it, like keep going, but like my hands hit the ground as I like travel back to my feet and keep running. But he doesn't see Saren anymore because you've climbed up. Like he recognizes, like, he hears you behind him, but he doesn't see you because he's not looking up. He's looking behind him.
And he doesn't know who Sorcha is.
And he doesn't know who Sorcha is. But he sees that you're chasing him. He sees it, and so he recognizes that I should run. But he's not thinking too smartly, because he's more panicked than anything. Ends up running down what amounts to a dead end. Like there is not really a dead end. Like there's like a ladder that goes to the roof of a building or whatever. But because of where Saren is, he would be running up towards you, basically. And so he's like crap, and he's like in an alley, and like Saren's above him, Kira's behind, and Sorcha is also like, he's like trapped in this like T-shaped area with like there's nowhere to go. Like it's which way do I go? Who do I? And like all these are bad choices. And he just sort of like stops and goes, I've done nothing wrong. You can't prove a goddamn thing.
Sorcha runs up to him and grabs his hand and shakes it and says, "Hi, I'm Sorcha. We have questions."
He can be like, you can't prove a goddamn thing.
Oh, we're not here
and
to prove anything.
He's trying to like pull his hand away. But I'm assuming that you've like double gripped his hand and like are shaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she lets his hand go and she grabs both sides of his face and said, "Oh, we're not here to prove anything. We're just here for you to answer our questions."
And he's like, I don't know a single thing.
"Oh, I think you do."
I know nothing. Like he's deliberately pulling the like, I don't want to say too stupid to know anything, but I am too stupid to know anything. Like I have not seen a thing. I don't even know who you are. He's like at the ceiling, at the sky.
"Oh, trust me, you know things. I know you know things."
Saren jumps down off the
Probably
ladder.
stop her.
Like, he has like this terrified look in his face because think about this, Sorka's small, but she's like in his space, like she is up in his space, like
She's grabbed his face.
yeah. He's like he's like it's like I would hit you, but I feel like that would be a bad idea, and I don't know why. Like I'm imagining Sorka's face is sort of like your icon, minus the blood.
Basically, yeah. Sorch is very scary. She's a scary small.
Yeah, no, he believes it. He believes it, and he sees it, and he's just like,
Kira's gonna like come up as well, like catch up and be like, "Yeah, right. You've done nothing wrong. We don't need to prove anything. You are a pain."
Right, I'm a pain, but I'm not stupid.
Huh? Debatable.
Saren grabs him by the back of the neck like he's a kitten, just digs them hands in right on either side of the spine. Goes,
He kind of goes limp.
He goes limp. You know, it's funny that you say you haven't done anything and you're not stupid, because I have something at my house that says you lied twice. Now, would you like to walk back to my house, or would you like to be dragged back to my house? Because we need to talk, Morgan.
We just stay here. It's safe out here. There are witnesses.
Oh, honey, witnesses have never helped nobody, and they're not going to help you today. Would you like to walk or be dragged?
Walk.
Okay. Saren keeps a real tight grip on the back of his neck, and the group begins to march him back through the market, where everyone is staring.
Yep, everyone is just like, oh, what has he done? Because like so the thing about Morgan in the world of this is he's kind of a small terror, not physically small terror, but like regular menace. Like no one really likes him, but no one really he's never been up to anything that's bad enough that someone's like done anything to him. Like he's more of an annoyance that's going to grow up into him being a bad person, but not quite got to the bad person level yet. Like there's still a speck of ability to be a better person lingering, but he hasn't quite grabbed that speck of how to be a not terrible person yet.
So basically everyone who's going through like their mid to late teens.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, pretty much. Like I could be a terrible person, but I could be a good person, but being a terrible person is way more fun. And no one's gonna stop me from being a terrible person, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Kind of thing. And he's also hanging out with a bad crowd of people, like he's making poor life choices. The cat is just staring.
Yeah, he sees ghosts.
It's fair. It's valid. So he's gonna like kind of shuffle walk. He's like shuffle walking towards your house, but like dragging his feet. Like maybe if I make this take a long time, I'll come up with a plan to escape. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
Sorch is gonna walk sort of like behind him to the side. Like if he slows down too much, she's going to be right there.
Yeah. Like you're gonna be stepping on the back of his feet. Like he's gonna like kind of. Yeah.
Here's like walking behind and just like as it's like I imagine like kind of gone a bit silent as we walk. Kira's just like, oh, hi Phil, how you doing? How's the kids? Like, just as we go. As if this is totally normal.
Like everyone's sort of like the thing about it is everyone's sort of like calmed down from like the chase. But they're all kind of like watching. But like no one's stopping you because Morgan, whatever Morgan's done, they know he's done it. Like they know he's done it. They can't prove it, but they know it was him. Like they don't know what it is, but they know you're right. And so he's gonna like when you get back to your place, he's gonna do the like, you know the thing that in cartoons where people grab the side of the doorway when they're being pushed inside of a room. He's gonna like
Yeah,
do
they don't
that.
just do that in cartoons. They do that when you shove them in your house in real life too.
No, yeah, he's gonna do that thing. He's gonna do that thing. He's gonna do the maybe if I hold onto the door frame, they won't.
Hey, don't do that. You're gonna leave handprints on the door frame. Stop it.
Does anyone smack his fingers?
Sorcha's gonna poke his side so that it like is vaguely ticklish.
Yeah. And he'll like he's gonna sort of like flinch away and like
she's gonna do that with her wand.
He's gonna like flinch away and be like, let go and go inside. And he's gonna like look between the three of you and be like, where? And nothing.
All right. So, Morgan, this is going to be really easy, honey. Very fast. You're going to tell me what the name of the new drug is, and you're going to tell me who you got it from, and you're going to tell me who they got it from. And if you do, I'll send you home. And if you don't, well, let's not be silly. You're going to tell me.
He's gonna like open his mouth to say something and go. And like he's opening his mouth and he's gonna close his mouth and he's gonna go. And I feel like he's gonna like do like the like gentle, slow raise of hand. Like I have questions.
Morgan?
I didn't quite catch that. Sorcha's inching closer. She's got her book out, or she's got like she's ready to take notes already.
He's like I actually don't know. I don't know the answer to some of those.
We'll start with the ones you do know.
Yeah, it's he like does the thing where he's like trying to come up with words, but he literally doesn't have them. And he's gonna be like, I know it's Pixie, but like with other stuff. I don't know what the other stuff is, but other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you get it from?
This guy.
I didn't ask this guy. What's his name, Morgan?
I don't. And this guy, he looks like and he'll describe a guy who's like tall, dark skinned, blonde hair, which is the only thing he remembers about the guy, and then he was like cloaked, like wearing like a like heavy like hooded cloak type. I didn't really get a good look at him. He was with and he'll like mumble like a name. And the name he mumbles a name. He was with someone else. He was with, who was he? Find out. He was with someone I think you might know. I just find he was, where the fuck are you? Oh, there it is. No, that's not right either. Where the fuck is your name? Sorry, once I thought I had it saved and I just apparently I did. Nope. Oh, Erwin, that's her name. I was like,
What's
why can't Awnwyn? I said Erwin, but it's Anwyn. He would like mumble like he was with Anwyn, and they seemed cool with each other. So I listened when he offered me to sell the stuff, the new stuff.
Well, all of this purple stuff seems like it's obscenely dangerous. So
I don't rule one, don't get high on your own supply. Don't get high on your own supply.
You don't get high on your own supply, Morgan, but you test your own supply. Would you like to guess which one of your friends you almost killed?
I only sold it to the Reese. I still have the rest. No one else, like, I don't have a
wait, you have more?
He like does the shifty eyed no.
You just said you didn't sell the rest.
I don't have a clientele yet. I just started out. And he sounds like kind of mad about that bit.
Well, you're not going to have a clientele, Morgan. So you're going to give it to me, because if you don't give it to me, I'm going to go round to your house and take it. And if I have to go round to your house, that means I have to wake up your mother and let your mother know why I've tossed her building. Now, would you like to give it to me, or would you like me to go take it?
You like, so this entire time he's had like a almost like a messenger bag, like a regular mess, and he'll like pat the bag and he'll sort of unshoulder it and like be like, here, I didn't want to leave it with my mother. That's sounded okay.
Saren snatches the whole bag out of his hand. You know what? You go see Reese and Lois. And
nope. Can't make me do that. Can't make me do that. You can't. I'm not stupid. Nope.
I don't know who Reese and Lois are, but I can make you do it.
She can make you.
He'll look at you. He'll look at you, Sorga, and be like, he's like, again, he's weighing the who's scarier in the situation, and like, who I know versus you, stranger, who probably could be scary, but he definitely knows Lois is scary.
All right, I'm not as mad at you as you think. So let me give you this piece of really good advice, Morgan. If Lois has to run you down, you'll really regret it. I suggest you go apologize and take your ass whooping like a man.
I'm a child and you can't make me do a goddamn thing.
All right. Well, don't bring your broken child ass back here for healing when Lois beats the dog shit out of you. Go home, Morgan.
And he'll like literally look at his bag that you're still holding and be
this
like,
is my bag now. Go home, Morgan.
Yes, ma'am. And he'll turn and leave.
Kira's gonna turn to Sorcha and be like, you know, you scare me. I like that.
I scare a lot of people.
Not right how scary. Like as he's leaving, you can hear him go, it's not right how scary they are. Why are they all so scary? You can hear him mumbling to himself, like what do like he's like doing the like, what do they have that I don't have? Like, how do they do it? And as he's leaving, like he just sort of like leaves.
I'm gonna like just hit him on the head a bit with my staff as he leaves. Like, get out.
He's gonna like jump away from the staff, but he's still gonna take the hit. Not that good. And gonna like
not like a proper hit. Yeah, it's just like a get out.
It's like
in the ass.
It's like if someone had a cattle herd and they like sort of cattle herd. Yeah. Like you sort of make the like it's not a full on hit, but it still hurts.
Yeah.
Cattle prodded him out of the door. Okay, so you have his bag, which has a bunch of random shit in it. But it also has a off-colored, like okay, so you know how beer bottles are like dark colored.
Yeah.
It has like a medicine tab type looking thing, like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday medicine tab thingy. But it doesn't say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on it. It just a box like that with like different tabs. And it's like a dark colored glass thing that like clips shut. Like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday tab thing, but like beer bottle color. Like don't introduce me to sunlight type. Like would ruin me type. Ooh, excuse me.
That's um that's that doesn't seem, is that to hide the pills, or is that to protect the pills?
You don't know.
Huh.
But there's also other random junk in his bag. Would you like to go through the random junk in his bag?
Sorcha will start going through all of the random things.
So a lot of it consists of there's a journal, there's the pills, there's a couple bios of what you recognize as like normal pixie. There's a list, like a piece of paper with a list written on it that looks like sort of like a grocery list of like regular food items, but then like intermingled with it is a bunch of other words that you don't recognize, like, or rather aren't food items. I guess is a better way to put it. Like it's just like this is a list of things to get from the grocery store, and like the other half of the list is like a list of things to get from the pharmacy, and the other half of the list is like the list of things that you, I don't know, maybe make pixie. Who knows? It's just
Give me that. Sorcha will snatch it, and she'll immediately start copying it down.
Yeah, and then there's a book, and then there's
she'll also
wallet,
take the book.
yeah, and the wallet.
She's
nothing else
in the journal, the book, and the list.
Yeah, and there's nothing else of note in the bag that isn't like just general speaking day-to-day junk from a teenager having a book bag.
Okay. All right. I grabbed
pills.
Yeah. So I grabbed the container with the light-proof bottles and I set it on my counter next to the ingredient bowl with the returned previous pill.
They were all the one in when you put, okay, so again using my magnets as reference. You know how when you put a magnet next to another magnet and the magnet sort of like shift towards each other, but then they sort of stop when you put something in between them.
Mm-hmm.
It does the like sort of like shift, like the pill in the container, in the clear container, sort of shifts towards the other container, but then like it kind of like it's doing it very slowly. Like it thinks maybe you're what I want, but I'm not quite sure what, and I'm not really sure. Like maybe I don't know. Like I'm like it's like two cats who just met each other. One of the cats is like gently sniffing around the other cat. Like not 100% sure that you're what you want. I think I like you, but I'm not sure that I like you. But it's different than the other time. Like so if you introduce this crystal to Gellspar crystal, it definitely goes, I think I know you, but you're not what I'm looking for. This goes, I think I know you, but I'm not sure that you're what I think you are. Like maybe the light-proof container is blocking the official like signals being sent. Like I can't fully sniff you out type.
Okay. All right.
PT Dubs, our giveaway is starting. Put the word Ember in chat to enter the giveaway. You have the next 15 minutes to do so.
Okay. Ooh.
You can
Wait,
win
hold on. I
things.
gotta type the word Ember. Like that. All right. So, Saren looks at the odd jiggling kind of movement that the half vomited pill has made and grabs several more small ingredient dishes from their cupboard, lays them all out, and begins prepping for an experiment. Darren puts some definitely non-purple pixie, and it's no one's business where they got it from, into one dish. Put some purple pixie into a different dish. The thrown up pill is in the third dish. And then Saren takes one of the small light-proof bottles, opens it up, and dumps a brand new pill into a fourth dish. What does the fresh pill look like?
The fresh pill looks like a bigger version of the thrown up pill.
Okay, is it coated in anything?
It's sort of shiny, but like the way crystal is sort of shiny.
Okay.
Or the way actually. Nope, that's not the right one. One moment. While I get a prompt.
I kind of wonder if the
like it's like a matte shiny. I don't know how to describe it. It looks like this. I'm gonna hold this camera, then you can sort of see what I'm talking about if I can get my thing. Like you see how? Come on, focus.
Yep.
Like it's sort of shiny, but like not really shiny.
Okay, so like it's like a properly processed but uncoated medical tablet like we would take now. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorcha's gonna glance up and ask, is there a consistency to them? Consistencies. I mean, if they're consistent, the various pills in how they're made, it probably means that there's something that was more professionally done to make them.
Yes, but also as a note, the thrown up pill and the new pill that you just put in the thing are doing the I'm friends with each other, but there's a bottle in my way stopping me thing. Like they're trying to go towards one another, and the purple pixie is sort of like inching across, but like not fully inching across. Like it's like slow snail like moving towards it. Like, but the purple pill and the thrown up pill and the new pill are definitely like we are friends.
Okay, I asked Kira and Sorsha to come closer so that they can see the way that all of this is acting up.
And the regular pixie is doing nothing. And like it's just chilling. It's just regular pixie powder and a pixie dust. Like it doesn't care about any of them.
Does normal pixie powder react to crystal pieces at all?
Yeah, normal pixie goes. No, normal pixie will herd itself towards the crystal that it came from. So if you put like if you had pixie and it's from the original Gellspar crystal, it would go towards the Gellspar crystal if you were close enough. But this pixie is not moving towards those other three kinds of pills because that's not the same kind of crystal. You can.
So wait, the purple pixie here. What was this made with the other crystal?
So whatever. So you can
or a different crystal.
You can imply that the purple pixie, the thrown up pill, and the new pill were all made from the same crystal, which was not the Gellspar crystal or the Ardell crystal.
Oh,
so it was a mysterious third crystal, basically.
So, oh my, this is interesting. And as far as everyone knows, all crystals are blue.
All crystals are white or bluish. Okay, so the Ardell crystal is like a white bluish color. The Gellspar crystal is like a white purplish color, but like it's white and like another color. This crystal is more purple than anything. The three ones that are hanging out together are more purple than anything.
Okay, so
are more purple than white, I guess.
Do you think the crystal was manufactured, maybe? Or is someone hiding a crystal that no one knows about? I'd imagine that if we were hiding a crystal that no one knows about, that would cause some massive effects on everything. So, how and why? I need to know.
That's the best question you've asked so far. How
I
and
ask
why
lots
is-
of good questions.
I know, but this is my favorite. How and why?
This is my favorite question. This is the best question.
The question is just as important as the answer. Knowing the right question to ask. That will always. That's always where to start.
All right. Saren reaches down and takes the edge of their nail and splits the unprocessed pill, the one that's never been in nobody's stomach, pops it in half, and sees if they can grind it between their fingers to see if it will still jump towards the whole pill or the purple dust.
If you split it in half, it'll sort of like it'll sort of. If you don't keep your finger between them, it'll sort of try to reform itself.
Okay, Saren has picked up half of the one that they just split in half and is grinding it to powder between their fingers to see what the powder does. Does the powder try to reform? Does the powder move? Because it's acting weird.
It's trying to both reform and move. Like it's doing them both at the same time. It's like the more you grind it, if you stop, like as you're actively grinding it, it stays in powder form. When you stop grinding, it sort of like starts to clump together. Like like have you seen kinetic sand? Like kinetic sand. Like
Okay.
it's sort of reforming itself, but slowly, but it's also moving towards the other half of itself. Like very slowly. Yes.
I have a question. Is the as it's being ground up, if it keeps being ground up, is some of the additives being left behind and the crystal is reforming?
Yes.
Or does it seem like they're okay?
Like it's like the bit, like whatever is like the if the pill is made up of say black stuff and crystal, it's not made up of black stuff and crystal, but for visual reference, it is. The black stuff stays on your fingers. The crystal bits reform into like a solid piece of crystal.
This seems absurdly dangerous to put in your mouth.
But crystal will dissolve in your stomach eventually. It's like anything. Your stomach acid wins out over everything.
I mean, it still seems absurdly dangerous to just because this is just essentially like this will just won't this just reform in your stomach and it before I mean that's
it will reform. It will.
That sounds super dangerous.
That's what I think happened to Lois. I think it started to break down, and every time she tried to throw it up, she just threw up the binder, and more crystal reformed inside her.
This is a problem. At least Morgan only got rid of one thing.
Has no clientele.
Morgan lies like a rug. I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks watching everyone.
Yeah, we should definitely figure out where it's come from and.
All you know about where it came from is what Morgan told you, which is that Awen was with and you know her, Saren and Kira, as she's a chaser. She's a chaser with a pixie addiction. And she's terrifying. Like not necessarily the Saren terrifying, but everyone else terrifying. Like I will bare knuckle box you and still get up and keep fighting because I have a pixie addiction and come at me, bro. She doesn't spend a lot of time in Gelspar, but she's originally from Gelspar.
Do you guys explain all this to Sorcha? Who this person is at all?
Yeah, I think like I'll be like, I feel like, I mean, the chasers have got to be involved in some way, right? They're gonna be.
If Awen's involved, who knows? I think that maybe we should start looking for her next.
This sounds like it sounds like a problematic individual.
Yeah. She's
yeah.
she's one to watch out for sure. Problem with
she's not a okay, so like if Morgan has like a speck of good in him, like he's a teenager, so theoretically he's not a terrible person quite yet. She is definitely a terrible person. Like she's been a terrible person her entire life. There was at no point in there was if Aaron, how old are you?
Saren is like 43 years old.
So Aaron is younger than you, but she's always been terrible. Like she was a menace as a child. She grew up like she was a menace as a child. She was a menace as a teenager. She was a menace as an adult. She's maybe like 20 something going on 30. And it's genuinely speaking a surprise to everyone that she's not dead. It's literally just by sheer willpower that she has not managed to get herself killed. And the fact that the chasers keep her on a very, very tight leash. Like they maintain her pixie. Like they maintain her pixie addiction as like the thing that holds her to them. But she's loyal to them regardless. Even if they weren't getting her pixie, she would still be loyal to them. She would just get pixies from other people.
Okay.
Uni, I mean, I guess I would try and avoid, I avoid coming to heads with her where possible. The thing is, when we get her involved, we're going to get the chances involved.
Yeah.
I
mean, we've got to do it.
I'm not really familiar with all of these groups, so I'm gonna let you guys do most of the talking. I'll take the notes. I like taking notes.
Okay. I assume you've got like a notebook that you fill in like every day.
She's
just a journal.
Sorcha has a different notebook than last time.
Yeah.
I saw her writing one, and it looks like this one is already like halfway full.
Like. Okay.
Speed writes.
So here's what's gonna happen. You're all going to take it's now like 9 o'clock. Let's say 9 p.m. It's been a day. It's been a long day. Verity is not back from where she had gone off to, but you assume that she will make an appearance eventually. And you know that you're all gonna meet back at Saren's place anyway, so you choose to like crash at Saren's place, I'm assuming, if Saren is cool with that.
Yeah, sure.
And so the next day, or rather, we will pick up the next day next week. That's what we're gonna do. So let's go around the circle, the table, the west. You are first, and I'll say goodbye where we can find you.
Yeah.
Bits and pieces.
And Sweth, you can find me on Twitch as Sweth, or Twitter and Instagram as Swethra. CB playing in this campaign, and I also do the odd other bits and bobs, and I will be Twitch streaming various games and craft soon.
Cool. Arnica? You're muted.
No, I'm not. You're muted. Am I muted?
You're good.
All right, I'm Arnica. You can find me on Twitter at ArnicaXRoss. And here every Saturday. And I'll just see you next week. I don't do much.
That's fair. Don't do too many things. Cree?
I'm Flecray, and I do occasional Twitch streaming. Very occasional. It's been a while. And that's Flecray is also my Twitch name, so I think there's a command for that.
Yep. Val got him in chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
I'm me. Hello.
Hi, I'm Imani. I am the wonderful storyteller. You can find me at mcatterdev on Twitter or Little Red Alchemist, depending on what you're looking for. I do game development and design. However, coming into next week, you will only be able to find me, for the most part, consistently doing this game, because I will be working 18-hour days starting on Monday.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I will only be running this game. You will see me nowhere else but running this game. And on Twitter. So that's everything. Is missing this week, but they'll be back next week. I believe they'll throw a chat in the command and chat, maybe. I don't know. But until next week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for everyone who stopped by.